This is the latest prototype of Hive, our distributed compute platform built around Raspberry Pi Compute Module 5. In this video, we are taking a closer look at how the mechanical and industrial design has evolved, the improvements we've already made, and the final details we are still refining for the final iteration. In our previous video, we looked back at our earlier prototype and shared the lessons we learned about design, assembly, and usability. This is the result of those lessons. So let's take a closer look at what's changed and why those changes matter. The biggest redesign came from the node guidance system. In the previous prototype, the concept worked, but it wasn't as precise and reliable or as intuitive as we wanted for a hot-swappable platform. Rather than trying to improve the old design, we stepped back and came up with a completely new approach. Every Beenode now slides on its own dedicated rail. This system keeps the node perfectly aligned from the moment you start inserting it until it reaches the backplane, making the whole process easier, more precise, and much more robust. But solving this one problem ended up being something bigger. It became the foundation of Hive's modular architecture. Each rail is an independent building block that simply locks together with the next one. With 4 blocks, you build a Hive Mini. With 8, you build the full-size Hive. Instead of designing 2 different products, we design one modular system that scales naturally. That makes the platform easier to manufacture, easier to assemble, and much easier to evolve over time. The new rail system also gave us much better control over airflow. Each node now sits inside its own air channel, guiding fresh air exactly where it's needed. Air enters through the front, flows across every Beenode, and is extracted through the rear. From the beginning, we wanted Hive to feel like a real infrastructure. That's why this version includes 2 redundant power supplies. If one fails, the system keeps running without interruption, something that's highly recommended in professional environments. Every design decision supports the same goal, making the system simpler, more reliable, and easier to maintain and scale. But this new prototype also helped us identify a few details we still wanted to refine. For example, some of the power and fan connectors in the backplane currently sit in the airflow path. It's not a major issue, but it's exactly the kind of detail that prototypes are built for. In the next revision, we've already positioned those connectors to keep the airflow path as clean as possible. When we redesigned the rail system, we also redefined the entire front of Hive around it. The goal wasn't just to improve the hot swap experience. We also wanted better airflow, a cleaner appearance, and a front panel that naturally followed the modular architecture of the platform. The rails became part of the front structure itself, and that allowed us to create removable blank covers for any slots that aren't populated. Those covers help maintain the intended airflow while giving the system a much more finished look. The concept works exactly as we wanted. The fit, however, still isn't quite there. That's already been refined in the next revision together with several other components that we've simplified to make the system easier to manufacture and faster to assemble. The Beenode has evolved as well. Compared to the old version, this one is a much cleaner and more practical design. But there's still one small detail we'd like to improve. The vertical side walls have a slight amount of play because the current design doesn't fully lock them against the top cover. It's a subtle detail, but after working with these prototypes every day, those are exactly the kinds of things you start noticing. And those refinements are already part of the next revision. Looking at this prototype, it's very exciting to see how far the project has come. At this point, the biggest challenges are no longer about making the system work. They are about refining the details that turn a working prototype into a product we are proud to ship. In fact, while recording this video, we're already assembling the next revision based on everything we've learned from this one. Most of the remaining changes are now small refinements, which tell us we are getting very close to the final product. Very soon, we'll be showing both Hive Mini and full-size Hive together with the software and the complete platform running real workloads for the first time. We are really looking forward to sharing that with you. And we'd love to hear what you'd like to see next. Would you like to know more about the hardware, the software, performance, manufacturing, real-world use cases? Leave your ideas in the comments. If you want to follow the project as we get closer to our Kickstarter launch, you'll find all the community links in the description and on the channel homepage. Thanks for watching, and remember, in Hive, all bees count.